Susannah here, Good Property Company, and they're lovely. I'm in Barcelona. Here on holiday. This year is the 9th year of me being in property, just about to hit my first decade, and for the first time, because I have worked crazy hard, so I'm not going to pretend it's easy, guys, but it's fairly simple. You buy discounted property, you renovate it, you rent it out or sell it, you make mistakes, it all works out in the end. But for this year, I've planned 182 days holiday and 183 days working. There we go. So I'm in Barcelona, and I'm actually just about to go in weightlifting at a CrossFit gym. I'm spending time with my son who lives here, and so my son's moved over, he's graduated, and my best friend Mark, and I've just said goodbye to them. Gonna work off the burgers we had for lunch. And yesterday Mark and I were talking about, well, I'm reading lots of books about champion mindset at the moment, about sports mindset, not business mindset, talking about visualization, optimism, things like that, and about peak performance. It just led me back. I read a book, a fantastic book, I think it was called Peak Performance by Anders Ericsson, who was the academic who did the study that's quite famous these days, that you need 10,000 hours of practice to be really, really good at anything. And that's where the Malcolm Gladwell's research came. Can you see me okay? Yeah, there you go. Malcolm Gladwell's research came from, that you need 10,000 hours to be good at something. So Mark and I were chatting last night, and I've worked out, I've done, I think it's about 27,000 hours. Anyway, yes, kind of, oh, look at this. I keep getting distracted. It's a market that we went into yesterday. Yeah, I worked out, I've done about 27,000 hours so far in property, which is why I guess we've had the results we've had. Both, I've done all the hours of practice. Doesn't mean to say I'm perfect, still make mistakes, but I've done all the hours of practice, so I'm pretty, you go from unconsciously incompetent to consciously incompetent, which is terribly embarrassing, to consciously competent, where you sort of are a bit sticky but at least you know what you're doing, to unconsciously competent. Now I'm sure I still make mistakes, and I know I do, but basically I kind of got gut feel of what to do in property, and I'll be able to figure things out really fast. So that's about having over 10,000 hours of, it's a noisy city, over 10,000 hours of practice, which is something you're passionate about. Now this book, Peak Performance, it talks about three things. It talks about not just practice, you know, if you're an athlete, not just practicing like for practicing's sake, but practicing to the edge of your ability, but also at the same time not going overboard, i.e. getting stressed or getting injured. Having a feedback loop, which as an athlete is having a coach, and in working in property is having a mentor. Well, I've had a mentor for 8 years now. And then the third one was feedback loop, being practicing to the edge of the ability, and I think, being consistent, I think, was the third part about it. So you can't just sort of jump in and expect to do well. You need to be very, very consistent and build up. And I think we should take the same things in athletics back into property as well. So and I think when we're looking back at it, that relates back to my personal experience. I've done over 10,000 hours. I've practiced to the edge, you know. I think, like pose running, I've never quite had enough money to buy any of the properties I ever agreed to buy. This is the first renovation, almost in my first decade, that I've got all the money in the bank to do a large renovation. It's unheard of for me. I'm normally like just tipping forward, whoa, you know, to either buy the property or renovate the property. I got a feedback loop from a fantastic mentor who I've worked with for years, who I'm ever so fond of, and think the world of, even if I don't always listen to him. Sorry. And I'm very, very consistent. I know to do the groundwork, it ends up producing the results. And I think that's a good feedback for you guys too. And for me, I was looking at my sports side of life, because I want to be really good at Olympic weightlifting, because why not? It's just a thing. And I practice quite regularly, but not enough at the moment, so I'm upping my game on that. I get a great feedback loop with my coach, Sunny, who is absolutely fantastic, went to the Olympics. And then it's about putting in the hours. And it worked out, I think, if at the current rate, I've got another 6 years before I can really be any good, having put in 10,000 hours. So I've got two options. I either practice at this rate for 6 years, or I increase the number of hours that I'm doing. Because you can't really escape. You need some basic level practice before you can increase your skills, don't you? So I would say I'm consciously competent at Olympic weightlifting, and I really want to get to the other side, unconsciously competent. Right, so there you are. It's Eric Anderson, I think his name is. Peak Performance is the book, and 10,000 hours, be consistent, push to the edge, and have a feedback loop was basically his academic study after doing about 20 years worth of study of musicians, athletes, and successful business people. And translate that into property, translate that into your sport if you got one. Right, I'm off to lift. Oh, and don't look at this. I dropped the bar on my head. Clearly, just totally incompetent. That was yesterday. Bye.